So, today's guest has over 240,000 subscribers.
One of the original golf YouTubers.
Who has undoubtedly inspired, helped and encouraged people into the game of golf and YouTube.
He's well known for his Golf Bidder Challenge videos with Rick Shields,
his quest for the Open Series and so much more.
It's the Mr. Nice Guy of golf YouTube, Peter Finch.
On the talk show tonight,
we find out the truth behind the party with Taylormade,
his thoughts on newer golf YouTubers,
and is Mr. Finch really Mr. Nice?
Find out now on the ShankerZ Talk Show.
Hello and welcome to the ShankerZ podcast. We are joined today by none other than Mr. Peter Finch. Hello.
Hello, how are we?
Not too bad. And also Mr. Golf Nuts and GMAC Golf.
Hello.
Right, so thanks for joining us, Peter.
No, thanks for having me.
Pleasure is all ours.
Absolutely.
Obviously, people will have seen the intro before, so we're just going to get straight into it and straight to the point. Topic one.
Yeah. YouTube golf.
Oh, we talk about YouTube golf. I would have
Never guessed, would you? So I think what I would ask is, what are your views on the recent influx of new golf YouTubers? Obviously, us three being some of those, but what do you think of it recently?
I think like any, if you want to look at it like a marketplace is probably the best way of looking at it. The more that people come in, the more different people that come in, the better it's going to be, because what it does is it forces, certainly what I regard as the older golf YouTubers, me being one of them. If someone new comes in, they start getting lots of views, lots of subscribers and all the rest of it, and they start to carve out quite a lot of attention. It's great because it lifts the whole standard of videos. It makes you think about what you're doing. Could you do things differently? Could you do things better? But certainly when Eric Anders Lang started making, a couple of years ago now, he's been around for a bit now, but a couple of years ago when he started making his travel videos and obviously Scratch with Adventures of Golf, all of a sudden it just made me look at like the travel videos I was doing. I was like,
He's editing next.
It's crap in comparison. So it was like, but what it does, it says, well, that's so good. Look at mine. It's not good enough. What can I do to improve it? What can I do to make it better? So on a whole, it's good. I mean,
do you see it as a positive thing then?
Yeah, I don't see why not. There's, especially with golf as well, and the way that the sport is between different people. I've never seen other golf YouTubers as like competition or enemies or anything like that, because everyone finds their own voice, everyone finds their own thing that they've got to do. And what it means is, let's say, talk about Eric, for example. Let's say Eric, he's got a project where he's going off and he wants to do a collaboration in another country, for example. Brilliant, amazing. Like, we can figure that out. We can do something. I can do a style of video. He can do a style of video, and then those videos and those channels will grow together. And that's always the case. Like collaborations and people doing videos together, they're always so popular because people don't like if they just come. If they come to your channel, obviously you're going to be on there. But if it's just you and you're just doing what you do all the time, it's just boring. It's boring. It's boring for them, but it's boring for you as well.
Yeah, boring for the viewers, of course.
And you just need to kind of interact with other YouTubers. You need to make sure that you can get them on the channel, that you can be on their channel. The ideas have got to be good. No point just making a video for the sake of it, but getting YouTubers together, getting them doing things together. You've seen it from like different events which have been going on and different videos which go on all the time. It's by far a more interesting video when people come together.
Yeah. I'm gutted Rick didn't make a full video about the range night he had, which you came to at Trafford as well. Yeah, no,
I think it was good. I think it was just a bit. I don't know why he didn't make a full video out of it, but I would say that type of event, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And obviously he had his drone taken down about 5 minutes into it. It's obviously going to knock you a little bit, but
I think a few people were a bit drunk as well.
Pete.
I can't imagine who that would be. Listen, I made the putt for the money with one hand, so I'm not being funny.
You did.
I'll throw a picture up of you, Seb, and my brother, because my brother was being a bit of a fanboy. And I need to get a picture with these two, so we've got that picture somewhere.
And I wasn't even there. I was too busy sunning it up in Gran Canaria.
Yes, you were.
You made the right choice. I'd rather be in sunny Gran Canaria than having a few Budweisers on a freezing night in Manchester.
Yeah,
very true. Talking about collaborations, do you get mithered all the time by maybe not people who have just started out? And
I won't say mithered is not the right word, but I mean get a lot of requests and people asking to do videos, but because there are so many people making golf videos now, you just got to be a little bit selective about it, because if you just said yes to everything, you'd be up and down the country. And what I'm trying to do, especially this year, so much more than I've done previously, is actually before I start filming, have a proper structured plan in what I'm trying to do. And if you just say yes to everything, and this is what I found last year and definitely the year before, if you just start saying yes to everything, you end up filming with someone, or you end up, even a few times last year, I was traveling, literally thousands of miles to get to somewhere. And because everything was so crammed in, because everything was so rushed, because I'd said yes to everything, I was getting there and I still had no idea what the hell I was doing. So you just need to just kind of take your time a little bit and actually say, well, a collaboration with this channel, for example, they might not have that many subscribers, but they're a long driver, for example. Well, we could make an amazing video on long driving. This person over here, their content is good, they've got loads of subscribers, but what video could we make? Would it be worthwhile? Maybe not. You just got to try and weigh it up a little bit, but I am very much not great at that. I've got a couple of people, actually for the first time ever, I'm actually employing a couple of people, and they're starting in late Feb. And that's going to give me a whole new opportunity to actually put a few more plans in place, do better content, actually plan it out so much more. And I'm very excited for that. It's the first time I've done it. A bit nervous, but yeah, I'm excited to see what that's going to be like.
Well, that goes back to like the Eric Anders Lang thing. It seems like he's got a full team of people.
Yeah.
He's
got a full team of people. He certainly invests at the right time when he can. But Eric's slightly different because he's come into golf videos after being already a documentary maker.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a bit of a different way into it. Like certainly most of the big golf YouTubers now, well certainly from the old guard, so to speak, they're all golf pros. Yeah. So for people to come in who aren't in golf already to start making videos like that, make success of it, it's good. It takes a lot of work and a lot of good vision.
Well, that's it. His first ever uploads to YouTube will be like really amazing quality. And then if you went back to like say yours, for instance, and you looked at your first ever upload, I bet it's completely different.
Filmed on a potato.
I'm not sure if I've even
private.
No, I might go back and have a look. No, I think my first ever one is definitely still up there because I remember it. I remember it so clearly because I'd started up at Trafford and I'd seen what Rick had been doing on YouTube. Rick Shield's been doing on YouTube for like year and a half, whatever it be. So I kind of knew that starting the videos, doing YouTube videos would get me more lessons, and that's why I got into it. But that first video, I was literally range opened at 6. I was outside the door at 10:02. I got into the bay like it was barely light. But I managed to, I got in there because there was no one there. So I could not bear the thought of actually filming and people watching me. And when I look back on that first video, I'm honestly like just a completely different person. Like the way I'm speaking, the way I look, the way everything looks. It's just completely different. But it's great because I mean that's one of the great things about YouTube. You can actually have a look back and see what you've done. in the past.
Yeah,
and
see
actually
what
be
you
like,
shouldn't have done.
yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about. It's about just like looking at the videos you've done and just trying to learn from them. You know, what you do well, what you do badly. Yeah, you learn a lot more from the bad videos than you do the good videos. So
100%. See, for me, and I think Golf Nuts is the same. It's helped me grow my confidence so much because I hate being in front of the camera. And it was a struggle when I first started. And I must have filled about 3 memory cards with takes of trying to say 2 lines.
Golf Nut still does.
Yes, true. And I feel a lot more confident now. I'm still a bit thingy if I'm holding the camera and people are around me. I'm like, oh no, I'm really nervous. You could probably see my face going bright red and stuff. But it has helped build my confidence so much.
yeah,
My first video.
Sorry, Lee.
My first video, I didn't even speak. I just didn't even speak. I was like, right, I'm going to film myself hitting some golf shots, and I'll put it together in a little 2 or 3 minute collage. And I thought, yes, I've done this. Uploaded it, and I thought, oh, great.
Put Eye of the Tiger over top as well, music.
Yeah. I mean, how do you find that aspect, Pete? Because you do a lot of vlogging on the go, like when you've been to Adidas or when you're in the airport. How do you feel now, obviously seasoned YouTuber, talking to the camera when you've got people around you?
Oh, still massively awkward. It is a weird thing. Like, just getting out of camera, especially the cameras I'm using now, because I've got it here actually. I've not got the mic, but I've got a big boom mic on it. So that's the camera. Okay. So that's the camera I'm using now. Like boom mic sat on top. So you imagine you're sat in a train station. You like get this thing out. People are obviously going to look, and they're going to be like, "Well, what the hell is this guy doing?" But I think with the advent of sort of YouTube and just all the content being online now, I think if you do get it out, people are generally more interested than anything. So people come up and just say, "Oh, you know, what you're doing, blah blah blah," and you can just explain it. So look at it another way of just being able to tell people what you're doing, almost to advertise what you're doing. But the nerves and that side of thing never goes away. And certainly for me as well. I mean, YouTube has definitely helped build my confidence as far as kind of speaking and presenting. But yeah, you get me in a room full of people who I don't know or don't know me, and I still very much struggle. That social.
I caught a bit of your Instagram live before when you said something similar, when someone commented about the podcast.
Yeah, I've always been that way, but and certainly in lessons, it was always quite a struggle. But YouTube is social and all the online kind of coaching videos that I'm doing. It has helped that so much because when people come in for a lesson, they basically already know me from all the videos I've done. So that awkwardness of actually getting to know someone completely disappears because you get someone in for a lesson and, you know, they're saying, oh, you know, what did you think of this course? And, oh, God, I saw you were in, you know, this place a few months ago.
Kind of breaks the ice straight away.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's people coming in and they're saying, oh, God, I remember when you played this. And I'm like, I can't remember what you're talking about. I can't remember that. It's like, so like giving a lesson, I'm just like searching through my old videos like, oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was good times. So it is probably, you know, in the top 5 of the very best things that's happened since YouTube, actually having that relationship with someone before you even met them, which is amazing, fantastic.
Yeah. Even us as a lot smaller YouTubers, we find like when we've been to golf days and stuff, people recognise us and they come in, oh, you're all right. We were playing, was it Portal we played?
Yes.
Last time we were going getting a buggy and some guy came over to us, are you recording today, lads? And we're like, do you know what we're doing?
I'm all right on that front because nobody's ever recognised me yet. It's like I'm incognito.
Yeah.
No, it's always cool. I mean, that's getting recognised and just getting asked for pictures, asked for selfies, stuff like that. It's completely surreal. It's completely out of the realms of what I thought would be happening. So it's always nice. Do
you get it when you're out away from golf?
I'm getting it. Starting to get it a little bit more and more now, which again is very weird. Just wandering through a Trafford Centre and someone kind of calls you and starts chatting to you. It is, yeah. It's so strange. It's so weird. Obviously, around golf clubs, it's a lot
You
more.
sort of half expect it around a golf club, I expect. Yeah.
Not so much. I certainly anytime anyone comes up to me and says hello is always nice. It's always a surprise.
Indeed. Lee, have we got a couple of questions on Twitter before we go to the next topic?
Have. Bear with me 2 seconds, chaps. I was on a different screen.
We have got a lot of people looking forward to this one, Peter.
Yeah. We have.
No pressure. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
I thought this was just a chat.
It is. We're just recording it.
Yeah. And I'm struggling to find them.
Okay, I've seen one.
Good lad.
I can't remember who it was from, so I apologise. And you've probably been asked this 100 times before. What's your perfect 4-ball? However, it's got a little bit of a twist. Has to be one golfer, one professional golfer, dead or alive, one celebrity, dead or alive, and one YouTuber. That was the question.
Oh, crikey.
A little bit of a twist on an original question.
One pro golfer. I mean, you'd have to say. Well, no. Okay. You'd have to say Tiger. So it would be Tiger. But for the sake of originality, let's not say Tiger. let's say someone like Bobby Jones, like a proper old school, unbelievably from all accounts talented player, which really gave the game up really young because he, was going to be a lawyer. Someone that annoying, someone who's that good at everything. Yeah. Just to actually kind of go around with someone like that would be incredible. Celebrity. Celebrity. Did it have to be a golfer? Or can it be anyone?
No. It has to be a golfer.
Perfect. It'd have to be Billy Connolly. Would be Billy Connolly then. I'll look. I mean,
4 hours of laughing.
So you got Billy Connolly, Bobby Jones. Obviously, that's going to be a winning combo.
Yeah.
And then obviously, why not? And then what was your one? YouTuber. God.
Rick might be watching this saying, "You better say me."
Yeah.
To be honest, it depends. It depends where it'd be. So if it was, say, the old course, it'd be Rick because Rick's not played there yet. So definitely be Rick. If anyone else though, I've still not played with Paige Spiranak actually. Get Paige along.
Yeah.
Just to
Is she a YouTuber or is she a professional golfer? Which one are we going with?
Oh, she's got getting quite a lot of views on a YouTube channel.
I know, yeah.
pretty both social. I would say she's a true golf social influencer. But
Yes.
I've only met her once in Orlando, and she was great. Just down to earth, normal, nice.
She comes across as really nice, to be fair.
Just a normal person, which is great. And obviously she hits it well. So we'll go Paige, but Rick hits the old course definitely.
Another question from Twitter, and this is from our friend Sean Hargreaves, but I'm going to word it a little bit better than he did. Is there any future vlogs to come with you and Rick in the future, or is that done and dusted? No,
definitely. I mean, we've got the Golf with the Challenge coming up, the £500 one. That's going to be in and around the Masters, and then it's just figuring out different videos from there. Basically, it's the same with anyone. It's like with any YouTuber. It's saying, what is the video going to be? What's the idea? Is it new? The Golf with the Challenge is slightly different because people have almost come to expect it and they really like it.
Yeah. They've been well received, haven't they? They were good.
Yeah, it's just a good, simple, basic idea, and people like the interaction, and it's built up a head of steam over quite a few years now. And this year is definitely a decider. It's 2-2 over the last 4 years.
Yeah, because you always switch it up a little bit as well, don't you? I think one of them that you got them in boxes and you didn't know what were in each box, and you picked the boxes and stuff like that. So there's a few ways so it's not the same thing over and over again. You twist it up a little bit.
Exactly, and it's with golf as well. With because we've got so many clubs. The ideas that you can come up with, and some of the plans you can come up with are not to say endless, but
What's it like for you going to golf bidder? Because obviously you and Rick and a lot of the other big guys can pretty much have your pick of whatever clubs you want brand new. So going back to golf bidder and you've got all the used stuff from all the range, what's that like? Because for me, I'd be like a kid in a sweet shop.
Oh, it's mad. It is just, say it every time, and it's such a cliche, but it is Aladdin's cave. You go down there, especially this time of year as well, because golf bidder, you get quite a lot of stock in throughout at the start of the year, throughout the rest of the year as well. But certainly when we go down early in the year, it's fully stocked, and it is just like, it's just amazing because you get in there and you can be like, right, we'll go to, I don't know, the Mizuno section or whatever. So you go into the Mizuno section and it's got, irons, Mizuno irons from 7 or 8 years. So you're going down, MP32s, I remember those. Oh, God, they're amazing. You're getting them all out, fiddling with them. And you get distracted by some, I don't know, frigging Honda stuff in there. And then you go and say, this is great around the corner. You got all these Titleist woods. And you go on there forever. It takes a lot of discipline to just get the video done to them.
Yeah. Have they got any Dunlops there?
Not that I'm aware of, no. I don't think the resale value in second-hand Dunlops is...
I remember buying a Dunlop driver from Sports Direct about 3 years ago. It was £60, the driver. So that's quite expensive when you look at the other price.
Quite steep for a Dunlop driver,
yeah. And I was at Trafford driving range. I think I hit 3 and the head just went up the range, gone. I didn't even go and get it. I took the shaft back to Sports Direct. That's all I got left. I actually got a refund though.
Fair play.
With just the shaft. So.
We got another one actually from Keith Harris, and the question is, would you like to see the golf ball be rolled back so that it's a proper test of golf on the old classic courses?
That will lead into sort of the next topic in a minute as well.
Yeah, do we go answer it now?
Yeah, answer it now.
I think, personally, just from a couple of different reasons, really. With some of the older courses, even average players now, average players sounds quite mean, but you get what I mean, kind of mid handicappers, high handicappers.
Us.
Yeah, the current crop of people assembled.
Even harsh.
Even I mean, put it this way: when I strike it poorly now, I can still get 270, 280. Now you take that back 10 years with an older driver and an older ball, that's flopping out of the air at 200 yards, like easy. So it just makes all of a sudden that dog leg on an old course where you've got that bunker that you need to try and stay left of, you can hit it over it when there's no, without any real problems, and that completely negates the course design. And unless you've got the room to shove the tee another 30, 40 yards back, only the very richest courses with the most land can do that. Yeah. And there's certain courses that you're just not going to be able to. So you just lose a challenge of a whole raft of courses that were built, 110, 120 years ago. But it's a conjunction thing. It's the ball and the driver together. So the ball's probably the most important thing. So if you take a modern ball and use a 10-year-old driver, you can still get really good results. If you take a 10-year-old driver, if you take a modern driver and then a 10-year-old ball, the drop-off is pretty dramatic. And I think for many reasons, golf would actually, certainly if it was an equipment standpoint as well, so you had to roll back the driver as well, I actually think it'd be quite a good thing, because certainly from an equipment standpoint at the moment, things are just stagnating a touch, because people kind of understand a little bit more now about, drivers, a driver from today versus a driver from 5 years ago. There's not really much difference. And if you suddenly said, okay, here's the rules that are changing on equipment, these are the new guidelines, all of a sudden it actually become a little bit more interesting as well, because, you've got to get the new conforming equipment, what's the best of the new conforming equipment, all the rest of it. But that's from a point of view of me not having to get new clubs and stuff. So that's going to be the biggest impediment.
See, but would they do that though? Because a lot of money has been spent by the average golfer, because obviously course rules in your local course would they have to change as well, or would it just be for tour players?
I think it would have to be across the board, because with golf, bear in mind with golf, it's one of the only sports where we could all go out tomorrow and play, and we could all compete because of the handicap system.
Yeah.
And if the amount of pro and amateur events out there is very low, but if you're a good golfer, for example, and you're trying to turn pro, I can't quite see how you would go from using certain equipment to then using other equipment. When does that switch over happen? Is that in elite amateur events? Is that when you get to a certain handicap that you've got to switch equipment? I think if it was going to change everything, and everyone would have to change together.
What about you, Mr. Shortball? Golf nuts?
What about that?
Would you like to change back?
God, back in my day, it was kind of like Max Fly Australia Blade with a Max Fly Revolution, and that's what I used when I turned from being an amateur to a pro golfer. That is what I had, with the Callaway Biggest Big Bertha, and obviously that driver now is illegal. But would I go back to them? Absolutely, because they were probably the best days of my life, and ball striking ability back then to now.
So what year, sorry to interrupt, what year was the Big Bertha, roughly? 98-ish?
Pete's on it.
I can see Pete's on the laptop.
So
it depends which iteration of the Grey Big Bertha.
Great Big Bertha, I think.
No, I used the biggest.
So that was the latest. That was the last one, which I'm sure is 98.
Well, I would have had it. Hang on, 15 years old. I had it. So I had it in 1998. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Pretty good.
I'm going down a Great Big Bertha black hole there. So
okay. So
yeah, so it was about 98 when I had it.
In 1998, the PGA Tour driving average was about 273 yards.
Well, I can honestly, hand on heart, say I was longer than average back then. So I don't know what happened.
So what happened? Because you're not even that long now.
Yeah, but the difference is, you see, it's all right hitting it 300 yards, but fairways in regulation, greens in regulation, my stats are a lot higher than probably what they were back then. So I will find a fairway and find a green in regulation as opposed to bombing it 280, 290 and being in the rough or in first cut or something like that. So at least I'm consistent with something. Give me some credit.
What would you prefer, Peter? More consistent tee to green or long off the tee?
Be both, wouldn't it? There's no.
If you had to pick one,
yeah, you've got one or the other, Pete. Come on, don't be greedy.
I would choose door 3, because it's one of the, like, when people come in for lessons, and it's just like, I don't want. You hear this like literally all the time. So I would say you hear this if you got 20 lessons in a week, you'll hear this 15 times. I'm not bothered about hitting the ball any longer. I don't need to hit the ball any longer. I just want to hit it straighter. Okay, great. Get him hitting it straighter. What's the next thing they're saying?
I want to hit it longer.
Yeah, you know what? I reckon I could get a little bit more out of it. Oh, yeah, it's the way it's been. It's the way it always will be. Getting them all together. That is the holy grail. But as soon as you get accuracy, trust me, you will want distance.
Well, the truth be told, I've been to a few top traces around yesterday, and I was 296 something like that yesterday.
We didn't witness this, by the way.
I've got proof.
Yesterday,
I've got proof.
In the biggest storm we've seen.
That was it. Yeah, it was downwind.
You might have known downwind.
Oh, now who's taken what out of context? Now?
You said it.
No, on the simulator it was like 285 and then 290, something like that. So you've obviously got to take some off of it. So I'm not exactly the shortest hitter in the world. I don't like hitting a drive 175.
I just want to say I've never said you were. So
no, you're just thinking it.
You've never seen him hit the ball though, Pete.
Well, have you?
I don't think so. I'm always a bit further down the fairway though, so I can't see that far back. Honestly, I have nothing to guide from. Only your fellow friends taking the mick out of you.
If that was a dummy, it's just been thrown out the pram.
The thing
What's
is,
your average driver distance?
my stats are on the phone. It's about 290 odd, which is handy, which is okay.
It's pretty much bang on the tour average, isn't it, at the minute?
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is with tour guys, the driving average with the tour, it's a little bit convoluted because certainly when it's just basic driving average, so it's not driver average, it's driving. So they take it over. I can't remember exactly, so this could be completely wrong, but they take it over. Basically, you need 7 qualifying drives on certain holes, I think it is, to actually qualify. But they don't take into account that week it might be slightly downwind and they hit a 3-wood, for example. It might be into wind and they've got a driver. When I've seen the guys say, your Butch Koepka, your Rory's, your DJs, been lucky enough to kind of get quite up close to them, and they're not sitting at average 300. They are so far beyond that. It is unbelievable. Yeah. They're massive. They're carrying it. They're carrying it 320 on a still day, without overexerting themselves.
That's driving a 3-wood for Lee.
Oh, it's brutal, Lee. You ignore
Let's just ask the question. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt. Let's just ask the question: who played golf for a living out of the 3 of us? And I don't think it was you two, was it? No, that's it. Argument settled. Thank you very much. Good night for me.
Mate, just turn around. Just say you're a professional sportsman. You're a professional athlete.
No,
that's
he's
what
not.
That's what you need to lead off with.
It used to be. I'm going to go with used to be.
Once an athlete, always an athlete. Once you're president of the United States, you're always Mr. President. So
that is true. So have some respect, boys.
Righto.
You're talking about one step away from Usain Bolt, athlete.
Did you see the young lad who was hitting his 2-iron over 300 yards? I seen that on Twitter today.
I've seen that on Twitter as well. Did you see when the camera panned round? Did you see the flags?
Downwind.
They were cracking, mate. They were
right.
It was downwind.
It's not. To be honest, that's not overly unusual though. But that's one of the things about modern. Excuse me. That's the thing about modern clubs and modern balls as well. Certainly, if you get a driving iron. So the P790 driving iron that I've got at the moment, it's 19 degrees, but it's obviously low lofted, but it's high launch, low spin as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a modern ball which is low spinning, and you can hit it 260, 270.
Yeah.
Remember that summer a couple of years ago, the summer of 2018, the one we'll tell our grandkids about.
Yes.
Literally that summer, that 2-iron, I was hitting it 320, 330 on some holes. It was just
drivers were redundant that summer, weren't they? Let's be honest.
It was obscene. So conditions, do play a part, but clubs play a part as well.
So do you think going in, because I know you've started going to the gym a bit, we've seen on your Instagram and stuff. Is that to hit it further, or is that just a personal thing as well? It's
best way of describing this. It's half and half. Well, no, split into thirds. It's a third about performance because I can actually move the club pretty quick without going to the gym. I've got a natural ability to move it quick. If I'm not fit, the stability completely falls down. So I can move it quick, but you could be stood in a 90-degree angle in front of me and you're not safe. It's that bad. But with the extra stability and the flexibility, that allows me to actually maintain that speed without hitting it completely off the planet. Second of all, just general lifestyle. I'm not unhealthy, but I'm not a shining example of modern age healthy eating. Let's put it that way. So that's part of it, and then last part of it is simply just the videos and the present. I'm doing more. Probably this year, I'm going to be doing more stuff on TV. I'm going to be doing more stuff YouTube-wise, social-wise. In the end of the day, certainly last part of last year, I was just looking at myself on video, and I looked crap. I was just like, oh, shit. Some of the slow-mo stuff I was doing, I was slowing my swing down. And I just had this thing flopping over my belt. And
That's
I was
why
like,
Graham won't let us do any slow-mo vids of his.
Is it? Hey, honestly, it's a real thing.
It is horrible.
It's a real
mate.
thing.
It's
Like,
horrible.
You get a wrong position camera in a slow mo, and like you're trying to not throw up over your keyboard. It's like, oof.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll answer that one as well.
And I know it's not the be all and end all. You know what you physically look like, but if you do make a lot of videos and you do put a lot online, and you are a little bit,
You're out there, aren't you? You're out there for people to see. So yeah, I totally agree.
if you're a little bit of a sensitive soul, you know, it kind of it gets to you a little bit.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it definitely part of it. Definitely part of it. Yeah, my own vanity.
Yeah.
So I seen you put a video up recently, reference you following Tiger's training regime.
Mm-hmm.
What was the thought behind that, and how's it going? Are you still following?
I followed it. I followed it for a week. Well, I followed 90% of it for a week. So he went for a 4-mile run in the morning and in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And with what I was doing that week, with the filming, the practicing, all the rest of it, I just physically wasn't able to do that. So I did. It was like I must have done about 4 to 5K a day, but that was kind of treadmill, bike, whatever.
Yeah.
Just to try and keep up with it. So the actual cardio side of things I didn't do, but I was in the gym early. I was in the gym late. Practiced loads more than I'd done in a long, long time. And it paid dividends. I mean, it started off that week just absolutely slapping the crap out of it. It was horrendous. It was literally, I'm not sure if I want to play in this tournament type of striking.
Yeah.
It was awful. But then by the end of the week, confidence returned much, much more. Had a decent first day and had an amazing second day, just didn't hold anything. And then the third day was a bit crap. But yeah, it worked for that week. It was good. And again, it's that thing, it's from my point of view as well, it's something to actually film. It's an idea, it's a process, and it's an experiment all at the same time. And it's good. So I love doing stuff like that. Bit hard work, but it's good.
It's worth it, yeah.
Worth it, yeah.
Quest for the Open then.
Yes.
This year, how's it going to go? What's your predictions?
I really want to get through first stage. So if I get through first stage, dog's falling off the chair. Come on. Just literally fell asleep and fell off the chair. I just want to get through first stage. I had definitely my best chance this year of getting through first stage. It just didn't play well enough on the day. And then once you get through first stage, once you get to final stage, it's very different, because then you start to get ex-European Tour pros. You obviously get everyone who's come through the regionals anyway. So the quality of the field is absolutely immense. And it really comes down to just, you've got to have like the 2 best rounds of your life if you want even a chance to get up there. The level is ridiculous. So I'm hoping to get myself to a point where my game can have that chance of having that amazing day. Because it's 2 rounds in one day, and if you do get hot, it is possible. It's the beauty of open qualifying. It's the reason why I'm doing the videos, because literally to get through to the Open, you need 3 good rounds, which is a bit weird when you think about it. But obviously, there's a hell of a lot more than goes into it than that. Yeah. The potential and the idea that you could get yourself to a level of getting through those stages and getting to the Open is absolutely amazing. But I'm a long way off that. Technically, I'm actually not too bad at the moment. But from a mental standpoint, that's one thing that I really need to work on.
I was literally just about to say, what do you think is your blockage for when you go to the first round? What do you think it is that blocks you out from being able to do a qualifying score?
Certainly when I started it, very much. I mean, my mental game has, I would say, never been that good. I've never been that good. But over the last year, really started to work in it much, much more in conjunction with what I'm doing. So my mindset around mental work now is that, let's say you spend an hour on your putting, for example. Mm-hmm. The hour that you'll spend actually practicing the mental side of things, that's just as important. Because technically now, I've been a pro golfer I turned pro when I was 18, so it's a frigging long time.
It's a long time.
We will not disclose that information on this channel.
Cannot even bloody work it out in my own mind. So from a technical standpoint, I know what I'm doing. I know how to hit a golf ball.
Yeah.
But it's under the pressure. It's under that situation where, let's say, going down open qualifying, and I've got to make a couple of birdies, or I've got to make a couple of pars to actually get through. It's being in that position and being able to cope with it rather than just absolutely melting. At this moment, I would say that I would melt under that pressure. So it's just making myself a lot harder in those situations.
What are you doing to improve that mental game? What are you doing? Are you seeing a psychologist or anything like that? Or
so I've got all the information that I need. I've been doing some stuff with Carl Morris, who kind of works with a few tour pros, and we're doing some filming with him in the past. Picked his brain. So I've got the framework. I know what I need to do. It is just actually doing it, implementing it, but it's doing it in competitions as well.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing that I've certainly learned over doing the Quest for the Open stuff. If you want to practice how to play well in competitions, you got to play in competitions. Yeah, it sounds ridiculous, but get a lot of people in for lessons who practice hard. Like certainly guys who want to get good and you want to get their handicap down. A lot of people fall into the trap of just smashing their practice, getting on the range, getting on the chipping green, working as hard as you can. Saturday comes around and they don't perform. Yeah. And their automatic reaction, because of what they're used to doing, what they've been told to do, is, right, okay, well, I wasn't good enough there. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to practice even harder this week. So range, practice. Don't get any better. And it's, if you could swap half that range time for actually competitive rounds. Golf, just actually playing golf. It makes such a massive difference.
So you see, for me, just a quick question. When you're going for Open, when you tee off on the first, what is your mindset in regards to, are you going birdie hunting or are you going conservative? Literally, I just want to make par for the first few holes and then I want to go chase some birdies, or?
My mindset on Open qualifying, especially at West Lang. So have you guys been up to West Lang?
Not yet.
I've never played it, no.
So certainly this year, like the rough was thick. So you stand on the first tee at West Lang, you got out of bounds left, you got 2 fairway bunkers up on the right. Further right of them, you've got thick rough. Through the fairway in a straight line, you've got thick rough. So it's not a driver, so that's the first thing. So you've got to put the biggest club away, which is a bit disconcerting. So you got this little 3-wood or a driving iron, and you're on the tee. And certainly over the last few years, I've just been like, just make contact, man. Just
the ball,
just find the face.
Just get it off that tee. Because with Open qualifying as well, obviously, very publicly what I'm doing, and I try and get as many people down to watch it as well. So stood on that tee, you got 50, 60. I think last time, because there was a kind of big group coming after, there was about 100 people there. So you're just there and you're like, oh my God, just get it out there. Now, fortunately, the last 3 times I played at West Lancs, I think I've made an incredible up and down the first time. I remember that. It was just ridiculous up and down. And then birdied it the second time and then parred it this year. But yeah, this year I necked it and it just ran out quite a bit. So I got away with it. It looks good. It looked like a squeezy little fade down there. And then my second one I thinned, but it pitched into the front of the green and stopped. And my putt, I pretty much yipped it, and it just rolled past the edge, and it's about 6 inches away. And I'm like, just concentrate, make sure you get it in, and full routine, make it in. And then that actually settled me down quite a bit. Once I get that first hole out of the way, it settles me down. But the whole point of this year is to actually, by the time I get to that first hole, I need to be in that mindset of, okay, you got 18 holes, you've got to make as many birdies as you can. I've always tried to just ease myself in, but you just can't do it anymore. Especially at the one-day events in the North PJ region. We've got ex-tour players now playing on it, and they're not going into a round thinking, driving iron first few holes, centre of the green. They're there to.
They're flag hunting, aren't they, from the first?
100%, yeah. And you just, once you actually realise that, then that actually frees you up quite a bit as well, because you realise you don't have time to be nervous. You don't birdie that first hole, you're like, crap, I'm down, like 17. Like, people would have birdied that first hole.
Yeah.
So it's just like, keeping it going, keep on pushing yourself.
Sometimes the par's just not good enough, is it?
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
I think that's a good thing, though, that you're under that strain, even at the PGA events that you go to, with these X2 players that, right, well, this is perfect preparation for me. If I want to be top of that leaderboard against these guys, this is what I'm going to put myself under to just qualify for round 1 of the Open. And, yeah, like you say, getting yourself prepared for it, what a brilliant way of doing it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you start to, certainly when you play in these events, when you start to play with the good players as well, it's such a massive learning curve. I played last year for the first time with David Shackleton, who's won a few times on the Seniors Tour last year, kind of won, I think, in Russia the year before to, like, cement a Seniors Tour card, and he's just been smashing it ever since. And play with David, and he's a proper lad, and he's just, he plays this kind of lowish to mid-range draw / hook type of shot. And when you actually see him hit it, it's a bit like, well, you know, it's not, you're not blown away by the amazingness of his ball striking, but you just see him there, and he's just like, little draw, fairway, little
consistent,
green, like, holds the putt, little draw, fairway, little draw, just misses it. And, like, before you know, it's 6 holes, he's 4 under, and you're like, he's not even hit it well.
It's boring golf as well. You think it's boring golf, but we had this conversation last week before
with Lee.
Boring golf makes good scores.
Yeah, well, I think we played with this year in PJ Pro-Am, BMW down at Wentworth I managed to play. And I got in the Pro-Am with Noren, and he was the same. Like, he was like 5 under through 7 holes.
But he hits it a long way, though, and he looks like he hits it a long way.
Nah, I'm probably just past him distance-wise.
Really?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, people say he plays a fade, and he does, but it's like a 2-yard fade.
Yeah, it's not.
It's a 2-yard fade and a shoebox-sized divot.
Yeah, it's not a GMAC fade, is it?
No, it's not. It's just like, but that's the thing. He's just like, he's 5 under through 7 holes, or wherever he was, and, you know, he's just completely just playing within himself. He's not even trying.
Yeah.
Like, he's chatting. Like, he's talking at the top of his backswing. He don't care. He's just on the green. Just holds the putt, and it's like, damn, it's just different, just a different level of consistency to it.
Because I know Golf Nuts, you want to go for Open Qualifiers, don't you? That's what you're driving for.
Yeah, that ultimately, and the reason what spurred it on is with the old man having dementia, is I want to be able to put him inside the ropes for something he can remember for the rest of his life before it gets too late. So I've put myself under that pressure, which is ironic, really, because I don't ever get to practice on my own. So I've kind of got the double-edged sword where I really want to do it. I've got to reduce my handicap drastically and quickly and improve my own game. But at the same time, I'm trying to help Dad and do his things all the time. And yeah, so my ultimate game is to go for Open Qualifiers again. I'd love to do that.
Are you aiming to do that next year, did you say?
Yeah, next year's the year. I've got this year to focus, get it down from 8 to scratch, and then off we go. But I mean, look at the rounds I'm having. I had an 8 on a hole the other day, shot 4 over, 1 over for 17 holes. So it's there or thereabouts. I'm not saying it is on point at the minute, because it literally isn't. I know where my weak spots are, but you've just got to grind it out, unfortunately. And I always found that back in the day, I could be 6 under, but you've still got to grind it out to get to 7 or 8 under or something like that, you know. So the goal is to get, and that's exactly why I'm playing golf again after retiring, which sounds horrendous, but yeah, I retired from it, and yeah, ultimately I want to play in the Open, like any amateur golfer does.
Yeah.
Right, should we fly on to another question?
Yeah,
I'll
just
see you there one day, maybe.
Just give us 1 sec, guys. Just gonna let the dog out.
Let the dogs out, Pete.
Could look a bit happier, Lee.
Yeah.
You do not understand the levels of stress just to get home at 7:35.
We don't understand and we don't care either.
All right, he's back. From the question Graham asked you earlier about the 4-ball.
Yeah.
You have to have a 3-hole match with them. It can be at any holes from any courses around the world.
Okay.
Which holes are you going and who's taking the money home?
Oh, crikey. I'd probably say, I mean, you could pick from, you go Augusta and, you could pick these beautiful holes, from Pebble, there's a ridiculous amount of singular good holes. I'd actually probably say that I'd play the 1st, the 17th and the 18th at the old course, I think.
Yeah.
Just because I'm so lucky that I've been in the last 5 years. I've been able to get out and play some just stupid, good, amazing courses. But the old course is so unbelievably different in its atmosphere. I mean, you take those holes, like you take the first and the 18th, and you stick it anywhere, and it's literally a big mown field. That's all it is. Big mown field with a ditch and a dike for people who don't get it up on the green. That's it. Like basic, dull field. Nothing to it. But where it is just unbelievably frigging cool.
Yeah.
I almost probably dropped a pop ref on there. And you stood on that. You just stood on that first tee, and especially the first tee and the 18th tee, and you just realise, you feel that. I mean, oh my God, there's been millions of golfers who've walked this fairway since like 400, 500 years ago. However long it is, probably longer than that. And then you realise there's going to be millions more to do that, and you've got an incredible sense of history, and it's a magic place, especially if you just get it with a bit of sunshine as well. Some people walking around. Oh, it's cool. So cool.
Question I've got on the back of that. Take the history and the nostalgia away from St Andrews. How good of a course is it in compared to some of the other top links you've played?
It not as dramatic for sure. So you compare my favorite links course, probably my favorite course overall at the moment, Royal Aberdeen. That front 9 at Royal Aberdeen is it's unbelievable. It's all cut into valleys. You've got the sea, you've got these amazingly structured and tactical holes as well. And you compare that to St Andrews, it's just not the same. It just doesn't feel the same, and it's impossible to compare them as well, because St Andrews, you don't quite realise that where the pin is on their greens, all the double greens that they've got, they're so big that a pin placed on one side of the green off the tee would mean you'd have to aim, 30, 40 yards in a different direction.
Wow.
And that brings in completely different humps, completely different hollows. And I've played it twice now, and the second time I played it, I just appreciated it so much more and realised kind of what it's like from a tactical point of view. It's just course management around there is amazing, and the amount of shots you can play around there as well.
Yeah,
it was designed for a ball to be run, not up in the air. So contrasting that to the modern way of playing it's just it's so different. And then you get off the 18th, you go to a pub, and I managed to get into a clubhouse this year just on the side and actually overlooking it all. It's just like damn, great. So
well done for taking the emotion out of that question, Pete.
Yeah.
So obviously you said you played it twice. Was the second time? So I know you played it with your dad. Was that the second time?
Yeah, second time with my dad. Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah, and it was great as well, because he'd obviously never played it before, and he was made up by just hitting a good shot off the first, off the tee shot. Because there's a lot of nerves on that first tee. And then a good shot on the par the 18th as well. There's a lot of pressure on that shot as well. Honestly, it's wide, it's massive, but if you look straight at the green, like the road on the right, it's
calling your name.
Yeah, well, played there with this time I played there with Seb on golf as well.
Yeah.
Seb plays his massive hook, and he's set up and he's aiming at the cars. He's aiming at the cars, and I'm like behind him a bit. Like if you just push one, and is it this like toey shot? And obviously, kind of last year, he used all Taylormade gear. I was using all Taylormade gear last year, and he had twist face driver. Now, if you strike a twist face driver out of the toe, you don't want to come back. You don't want to come back. So he's hit it out there, and it's over these cars, and we're all at the same time just like we've gone so quiet. Fortunately, like this, just wind was gusting, and it landed in bounds by like that much, and then kind of kicked in, and like, oh, Jesus.
Twitchy bum time.
Oh, honestly, I mean, it was such a great day. I mean, it would have been topped off by just nailing a car. It'd be one of those things which is funny. It wouldn't be funny at the time, obviously, especially for the driver as well.
Yeah.
Parts car. There's no car driving there, but yeah, it'd be funnier now.
For YouTube, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh crikey, I'd have got that.
Talking about the Taylormade, obviously, as outsiders, we saw. You probably saw it as well. All sorts of rumours and conspiracies that you've been dropped by Taylormade and this, that, and the other. Do you want to go into that and just tell us the actual reason? I watched your video when you explained it. Or...
Yeah, it's pretty simple, really. I mean, last year I've got to say that working with the guys at Taylormade, they were unbelievable. They were so good. Like they'd come to me with ideas and stuff that they want to do, and get me opportunities to play with certain players and see certain things, and it was great. It was brilliant. And to be honest, I don't think that, because this year I wanted to do a lot more stuff with different clubs, just to tell different stories and just open up some more possibilities. And I reckon if I'd have gone to them and just said, listen, I want to use other stuff to tell stories about the equipment, to do some reviews, not quite in a review format, but in a slightly different format I'm thinking of, but they'd have probably been okay with it. Like they were that down to earth, but it just wouldn't have worked, because like, if you've got a sponsorship off a manufacturer, and I think most of my viewers would trust me to be honest about anything else I review. But in the back of my mind, I'd be like, well, the club I'm reviewing that's not Taylormade, for example, it might be crap, like really crap. And I'm like, I want to say it's crap, but if I say it's too crap, are people going to be thinking that I'm only saying it because I've sponsored? And then if something's really good, I don't want to overamp that it's too good, because people might say, oh, you're only overcompensating for the fact that you sponsored. So you just start to get into this kind of mind mesh of what
a sticky situation.
Exactly. And the fact is that I just went to Taylormade and just said, listen, this is the direction I want to go in. I just don't think it'd be the right idea to carry on with a sponsorship it is at the moment. Still want to work with them, still want to do loads of stuff with them, but it just allows me to have a little bit more freedom about what I'm doing. It's just as simple as that, really.
Let's get on to the Twitter trolls and stuff like that, and the comments on YouTube. Do you get many negative comments and stuff like that, or do you just not take any notice of them anymore? Yeah,
I mean, it's the same as anything. Like if you want to live your life online and you want to stick stuff on the internet, it's the internet. There are some interesting people out there, but it's not easy. It's not easy. But what I always try and think of is, if someone's leaving you like a really negative comment, or people are being, very nasty, which happens every now and again, not very often. Most of the people who watch the videos are amazing. But if someone's leaving you that kind of comment, what you've got to think about is like what has actually made them do that? Because at the end of the day, a golf video from someone who plays golf and people get so angry about it. Yeah. They're not angry with you, really. They don't really care. There's obviously something going on with them that they're obviously not a very happy person to be saying that stuff. So even if I watch something online and I don't like it and it's just a bit rubbish, I'll turn it off.
Yeah,
that's the best thing to do.
You don't hit the thumbs down like that and go, no.
Yeah, I mean, even hitting the thumbs down. I mean, I don't mind people doing that. I don't personally do that. I don't mind people doing that because it gives me a steer on what people like. That's fine. Like people leaving comments to tell me what they like, what they don't like, and stuff like that. Great, it's feedback. It allows me
of course.
to grow and get better. But yeah, when people get really, really, really angry, it's just like
live a little.
Yeah, it's not. I'm trying to think of it a lot more of, obviously they've got something going on that like you don't know about. That's the way to think about it. And if it just carries on. The thing is, like all the social platforms I'm on, you can block, you can mute.
True, isn't it? I think I've watched a few things with you been live. You're going, yeah, you're blocked and blocked.
Yeah, it's great. It's fine. Well, you don't have to. Like, you don't. If people are being like consistently negative or angry or insulting, you don't have to listen to that. Like, if it's not constructive and it's not coming from a good place, then what's the point? I'm not gonna bother with it.
You made a fair point then about the thumbs down on videos. You said you use it to kind of weigh up, or like not as many people are liking this video, or more people like this video. It seems for us smaller YouTubers who aren't getting isn't it? As many views, it's completely different. We've got a lot of trolls at the minute that will come onto your video, and within, say, if the video's 10 minutes long, within 3 minutes of it being uploaded, it's got 15 thumbs down with 15 views. And these people purposely going on just to thumbs down the video. But to me, it doesn't bother me. What it bothers me from my point of view is when I go on a video, first thing I look at is thumbs up, thumbs down. And if it's got 500 thumbs down and 3 thumbs up, I'm not going to watch the video. It kind of persuades people not to watch it. And like I said, we getting it from a completely different angle with a thumbs up and thumbs down kind of thing. Someone made a suggestion on Twitter. The thumbs up and thumbs down should be like, you can't click it until you've watched, say, 60% of the video, and then it becomes active for you to say, yeah, I like that. No, I didn't like that, which I think is a brilliant idea. But
yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Again, it's the thing you have to just work through. I mean, when I upload a video, I think it is just one person, but within a minute of uploading the video, if it's like a 10-minute video, for example, there's a thumbs down on there. Like,
I think
that just means though they subscribed, they've got notifications turned on.
Listen, but that's the thing. It's
a view. They've watched it.
It doesn't bother me. But what I'd say is that if you're getting thumbs down and you're getting dislikes, it's so easy because it is you on camera. You are doing the videos and all the rest of it. It's really easy to take it personally and be like, you know what? No, screw you guys. Yeah, whatever. You don't know what you're on about. But actually, just take a look at it and say, well, actually, why? Why are we getting those thumbs down? And then it's just like it's watching the videos again and saying, actually, that could have been better.
Yeah.
This could have been better. I could have definitely improved that. Or maybe people don't want to hear about this, or maybe they want to hear more about that if you're getting positive videos, stuff like that. It's tough. It's tough to take that personal element out of it, and it's certainly something that I struggle with.
We've kind of come to the conclusion it's not just viewers though that are doing these dislikes; it's other small YouTubers. So they purposely do it. There's like a whole war going on.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Below like the bigger YouTubers, it's like a completely different kettle of fish. It's like cat and mouse.
1,000 subs down. It's dog eat dog.
I mean, I've got to be honest, you guys can speak for yourself. I've just checked. On my last 6 videos, I've had no thumbs down.
That's because you've had no views.
I've had 3.
In fact, 7, 8, 9, 10. In the last 10 videos, I have had a grand total of 3 thumbs down.
It's just you, Owen.
It's just
I'm just a nice guy all around, Owen. You might want to take a leaf out of my book.
It's that athletic training, and you're pulling back.
That's what it
is. People recognise.
Oh dear.
I think we should end it there, guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
Big thank you to you, Peter.
No worries. Thanks
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
And to everyone else, thanks for listening. If you got to the end, smash that like button. Check out Peter's channel, which you probably already do if you're following us anyway. But thank you very much.
No worries, guys. Have a good evening. I'm going to close the door. It's freezing.
See you later, Pete. Thank you.
Cheers, Peter.